Okay, I was asked to do a video about a BBI torso swap, so bear with me. Basically, this is where you're going to start. You got to break this open, and that's what you're going to have left. So basically, I'm going to show you how to turn this and one of these into basically something like this. I'm going to stop the video for now, and I'm going to Dremel the waist down so you can see where I'm at, and then I'll be back. Okay, video number 2. When you're done cutting down the torso, should look something like this. Always try to shave above the belt. Let it focus, come on. Sorry, I'm using my iPhone. So it should look something like this. You know, I gotta trim a little bit more right there, but you get the gist. Not all torsos inside are gonna look like this, I'm sure you guys know. Some are a little bit cooler and easier to use because they have like a little like line in between, like one on each side. And the next part I'm gonna show you where I have to glue a piece in there. Usually sits in there perfectly, but we'll have to get a little bit more creative with this one since it doesn't have the line in there. Sorry, it's a little bit hard for me to do this because I'm using one hand to hold the camera and one hand to hold the figure. So it's pretty easy. Basically, to get the torso part, you just hold it and pretty much there you go. But to get the arms and the head off, it's a little bit harder. Stick it in some boiling water and they pretty much pop off. So the next piece we're going to need is this piece right here. We're going to pull the legs apart, and trying to figure out how to do this so I can show you guys as I do it, but I'm gonna have to stop the video and make another one for part 2 or part 3 where I have to cut this off, because basically this piece gets glued inside here, and then that's how you reattach the G.I. Joe torso or G.I. Joe crotch back into the BBI torso. Basically for the head, you pop the head off, there's gonna be a little hole in there, and so basically what you're gonna do is, as you can see with this generic 5-point of articulation figure, I basically just cut off his neck post. See, it's gone. Try to get as long as possible and make sure the head post you're going to use is going to fit the head you want. And then basically, once you pull this head off here, let me see if I can pull off and put the camera down for a second. Or hold on, here buddy, hold that for me. I'm going to try to see if it'll come off. Sometimes they come off. Oh, there you go. Okay, that came off. So see, there's basically a hole there, and then you're basically just going to glue your piece that you cut off, whatever neck joint you cut off, whatever figure, you're basically just going to glue it right here. And like I said, make sure it's long enough to clear the collar or whatever you're going to use it on. And then like I said again, make sure the head you're going to use is also going to fit on top of the neck post you use. I am sending neck posts to Steven to cast, so he will have neck posts, so we don't have to cut up no neck posts on G.I. Joes. And we're still trying to figure out how he's going to cast different crotch sections, because we're worried about the T-bars, because he was going to cast it as a whole. I was going to set it to him with the pin in and everything, but if he casts it as a whole, these won't be metal, they'll be plastic. And I'm worried as you try to put the G.I. Joe legs back on, the plastic will break because they're not as strong as the metal. I'm going to break down this torso completely. Hold on, the arms probably won't come out. Hold on, here buddy, hold this for a second. I'm just going to use some pliers to pull it out, but you can heat it up and they come out pretty easy. I'm going to see if this will work, hopefully. Yeah, there's one. And there's 2. Okay, there's the arms. Sorry if the camera's going over. So basically when you're done, this is basically all you're going to have left. What I do is I grind this down very lightly inside the I'm sorry, I'm thinking about a car. Inside the arm bands there. You just sand them down a little bit. And what I've been using is this Dremel bit right here. And it fits in there nicely. And you just zip it for about 2 seconds on both sides, and then if you need to, do it a little bit more, and then go inside with an X-Acto blade and clean it out. And then the other thing I've been doing is the discs on the G.I. Joe arms. which I don't have an arm laying around. Well, anyway, you understand what I'm saying. The part that's going to pop into here, you basically just take a buffer wheel like this or some sandpaper and just go around the whole disc part of the arm. And then when you're ready to pop it back in, you just heat up the torso really good and apply pressure, and they pop right into these holes right here. So I'm going to stop the video again, and I'm going to work on connecting this part to the G.I. Joe crotch area so you can see where we're at. Thanks. Okay, next video. Mind with you, I finally got something to hold my phone in place. So basically you're going to take this and, hold on, I'm going to move it away. I don't want to knock my phone down. Hold on. You're going to pull one of the legs off, sorry. And it's going to look like that. And then this is what you're going to want to have left. This piece right here. You're going to make some incisions on here. I don't know if the pen will show you, but you're going to cut. That ain't going to work. Let's try the Sharpie. So basically, see where I drew with the Sharpie? You don't want to make an incision, just cut in the black spots. And the big spot in the middle and the bottom where I left it, you're going to want to leave that rounded, because that rounded piece is going to sit on top of here. And if it's rounded, it fits better than if it's flat. You want it to kind of like fit on there really nice. And Stuart Weaver gave me an idea, is when you're using the crazy glue, I use this kind because it seems to work really good, because you can squeeze it and use however much you want. And what he suggested too was a good idea. I haven't tried it yet, but you mix that crazy glue with a little bit of baby powder, and it makes it harder and almost like cement. And then don't worry if you get too much on there, you can always sand that glue down. It's easy to sand. But yeah, basically you're gonna want to sit this joint, not this whole piece, just the part you cut out here. So this here, cut all this out, and just you're gonna keep that, and that's gonna sit on top of this. And that's how you're gonna reattach the crotch, the G.I. Joe crotch, back into your BBI torso. So I'm gonna stop the video again right now, and I'm gonna work on the pin for the crotch. And then once I get it all set into the crotch, I will start the video again and show you what it looks like. Okay. This is basically what it's going to look like when you're done. I use a lot of glue. I think the more glue you use, the better. Holds it stronger. Don't be cheap with the glue, fellas. It's not that expensive. I find the Loctite glue at Dollar General by me, $3 for a thing. So, you know what, if you want it to hold good, I'd use the more glue possible. If you see it, I don't know, I should have took, when I was done cutting it, I should have took a little bit of video, but can you see at the bottom where it's kind of rounded and it fits really nice around that little peg in the middle of the crotch where I showed you earlier? I kind of made it rounded to fit on there really nice. Gives you a nice stable connection. I would show it to you connected to back to the torso, but I usually don't connect it back to the torso till I'm finished, because sometimes if you don't let this dry long enough, I usually let it dry 24 hours, and you stick it back in the torso and you need to pull it out for whatever reason, sometimes the little pin stays stuck up in the torso and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get out. Some needle nose pliers I usually pull out because it's happened to me once. By no means I'm not an expert at this. I was just showing you the way I do it. You can do it however you want. I'm just showing you the way I've done it. And again, thanks again to Mike Weiss and Stuart Weaver for giving me the help on getting this done. So basically at this, okay, all you Joe buddies out there, new video, new BBI figures. Torso swaps can be a little bit easier than the old ones. To get them apart, basically, you're gonna nuke some water for about 2 minutes in the microwave. Then you're gonna take all the accessories off this guy. So first we'll take off his hat. We'll take off his ghillie suit. I don't know about the other. This is the first one I'm doing, but his head pops off pretty easy. I already took this one apart, but just I want to give you an idea. This front piece is held on with a little bit of glue, but when you put it in the nuked water, it gets real soft, and you want to pry it from the bottom left, or I'm sorry, if I'm looking at it, if you're looking face forward, it's the bottom right corner. And you peel it really slow, well, and it comes off, as you can see. In here, there's a screw. Like I said, I already took it apart. There's a screw. So yeah, in there's a screw. And then what I did is I put it back in some water because there's a little bit of glue holding the torso together. And then just keep wiggling it, and eventually, this is hard to do one hand, but ta-da! It pretty much just breaks right open. Here's the back. As you can see, the arms are just like G.I. Joe's, so not a lot of modifying now to put them back in. So what mainly changes is that this torso actually comes apart. Oh, warning, do not try to pull the legs off like the old BBIs, because you see, these have the little disc on here, and it's held in to the torso, so if you pull it, you're going to break it off. Well, now you know, and no one is half the battle. Enjoy. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.